Welcome to Coder Station.
Hey guys, welcome to Coder Station again. In this video, we will be moving forward in our C programming series on variables and data types. So let's get started. First of all, we will see what we are going to learn in this video. We are going to learn about the variables and different types of data types. So moving forward, first of all, what are variables? By the definition, a variable is a name storage location to store some type of data. So basically, a variable name is the name for a memory locations. Okay, I'm repeating again. The name of our variable is given to a memory location where we are storing our data. So let's see some example. For instance, let's consider this as our memory, and in this we have various boxes. For example, box 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Okay, so in these boxes, if I want to store the number 25, okay, so I will store this number in this box number 1, and I will name this box as number 1. Okay, so this number 1, this is the name of the box. Okay, this is the name of the box where we are storing number 25. So this number 21 is our variable. This is called as a variable, the name for the box where we are storing 25. The second example, if we want to store our age, for example, the age is 19 and we are storing it in some box. Okay, so and we are naming this box as age, so age is our variable. Next, even if you want to store some character such as C is a single character, we will name this box where we are storing C as letter, and this letter is a variable. Now I guess you have understood. So we will move for some examples. Okay guys, now after a long we are moving to the fun part. So here we have VS Code where we are going to code our C programming languages programs. Okay, so here first we have to create a new folder for our C files so that we can store over there. So go to the file section, file menu, and then click on the add folder to workspace. Okay, so workspace it is certainly like your office desk where we keep our files and all. So here we are creating a folder. Okay, so click over here, add folder to the workspace. Okay, after that, go to the location where you want to create your new folder. I'm going in the programming folder. Okay, then create on the new folder. Okay, now write C programming as you wish, whatever you want to write. I'm writing. I have already created a folder, so I'm not going to create again. Okay, then after creating a folder by clicking over here and naming it, just click on that folder. For example, I have created here a C programming folder. Okay, now click on it and then click over here add. So now our C programming folder is added to our workspace. Workspace is your like office desk or your home desk where you keep all the files and folders related to your work. Okay, so this is our workspace in our VS Code, and this is the folder where we are going to create our C program files. Can you see this button over here? Click on this button to create a new file. Now, first we will name our file. You can name anything as you wish. I'm just naming it as demo1. Demo1 dot C. So why I am giving here dot .c? Because dot .c is the extension. Every file has some extension. Every file, whether it is the text file which you create from the Notepad app, or the doc file which is when you create with the Word app, Microsoft Word app. When you create a Word file, then it is called the extension for that file is .doc. Okay. So for C program, we have our extension as .c. So it indicates that this file contains the code of C programming language. Okay, after this, you have created your first C file. Now moving forward, I'm just writing here some code which is actually compulsory in C. Don't worry, I will explain you this afterwards. Just write as follow. Okay. This is your basic template for a C program. You should contain this code in each and every file. This is actually compulsory everywhere in C program. Okay. So now we are going to create a variable. Okay, for example, we are creating a variable a as we have seen earlier in the earlier example, and we are storing a value 25. So here what I have done is that I have named a variable that is a. Okay, and then using this symbol, this is a symbol of equal to. Using this equal to symbol, I am assigning the value 25 to a variable. Okay, I will explain you again. For example, I want to store number 10 in a variable named as b. So first I will write the name of the variable, that is b. Okay, b. Then equal to, okay, after that the value, that is 10. And then we have to write a semicolon. Semicolon indicates full stop in programming languages. Modern languages don't require this syntax to be followed of semicolon, but as C is developed earlier, it requires a semicolon after every line. You must actually have a semicolon after every sentence. Okay, so you have created your first variable. Okay, now we will print this variable. Printing this variable, we will write such as printf. Don't you worry, I am going to explain you all this. What is printf, what is this int, what is return, hash include, int main. Don't you worry, I am going to explain you, but just write what I am seeing. Now after writing this, now we will just execute this. For executing, you can click over here, this you can see this play button. Just click on it and your code will be executed. Okay. Now just have a look over here. Here we are getting the output as 2510. It is actually not 2510. Okay, I'm actually printing this variable separately. In this first printf statement, I'm printing the a variable, and in the second I'm printing the b variable. Okay, so why we can see the output as 2510? Okay, I will answer you. This is because we are not putting here a space, or we are not printing the next value on the new line. Okay, for if you want to print the next variable on the new line, you have to just write this backslash and n. Okay, this backslash n indicates that after printing the a variable, the next sentence which is going to be printed will be printed on the new line. Yeah, I will show you a demo. For example, see, if I print here, oh sorry, I have not saved. Okay, now after saving, now you can see. Okay, so see, variable a is 25 and variable b is 10 over here. Now in the previous example, we have seen that we were getting the value 2510, which is actually, it is not 2510, it is 25 and 10 respectively. But as we have not inserted some space, or we have not printed the next value on the new line, we are getting such an output. So after putting this backslash n, we are getting the next result, that is the b variable's value over the next line, into the next line. So this is how you create variables. I am showing you some another example too. For example, I am taking a value. I am creating a variable c, then storing number 100 in it. Okay. So here c is the name of our variable, and the 100 number is our value which is stored in the c variable. Okay, so c is what? It is a memory location where we are storing the value 100. Now, as we have learned how to declare a variable, we will now learn that the rules for declaring a variable name. Okay, so first I will erase this up. Okay, now the first rule states that a variable name can contain letter, numbers, or an underscore. For example, ABC, then int A1 or int underscore ASB. So the first rule is clear. Okay. Now moving forward towards our second rule, it states that we cannot start our variable name with a number. For example, int 9abc. Here our variable name is underlined with the red color, which means that there is an error in our code. Okay, so we should not start a variable name with a number. You can, the third rule, now moving to the third rule, you can start a variable name with a letter, or you can also start with an underscore. Underscore is also acceptable to start a variable name. For example, Rahul in gym. You can write this underscore anywhere. Gym underscore jam. Okay, this was the third rule. Now the fourth rule, it states that the variable name should be descriptive. That is, if you are storing some data, for example, if you are storing BMW, the name of a car company, BMW, and if you give the variable name as a BMW. Now, how will other developers understand that what A contains? They can print and they can actually check it, but it is actually a method to write a meaningful variable name. For example, car is equal to BMW. You can write like this. Okay, this was the fourth rule. And the fifth rule, now moving towards the fifth rule, it states that your variable name can contain uppercase or even lowercase letters in it. Okay, so this is all about variable names, the rules for declaring a variable name. Okay, now we will again revise the rules for declaring a variable name. So it starts with, a variable name cannot start with a number. As we have seen earlier, a variable cannot start with a number. That is, only letters and underscores are allowed to start a variable name. Okay. The second is, variable name should be meaningful and descriptive. This means you should write a meaningful name. We should give a meaningful name to a variable. Okay. Then the third, they can consist of letters, digits, and underscore. So when you are giving the name for a variable, so at that time the letters can be either uppercase or in the lower case, and it should be followed by digits, and underscore can even start, or it can come middle or at the end. The next is, the first character of a variable name can be a letter or an underscore. As we have seen that earlier, that a variable name can only start with a letter and underscore. So here we are ending with the rules for declaring a variable. Now we will be seeing our second topic in our video, which is data types. So actually data type defines that which type of data is being stored in a variable. I am repeating that which type of data is being stored in a variable. Okay, so now we are going to see only the most common data types that we are going to use. We will see the other data types too, but as our series continues. Now our first data type is integer. Integer is a most common data type that we ever see because it is all about numbers. It stores numbers, that is 1, 2, 3, 0 and anything. It consists of 4 bytes, that is it takes 4 bytes for its storage. 1 byte is equal to 8 bits, so 4 byte is equal to 32 bits. So an integer in modern compiler is about 32 bits. The second is the character. The character, as we have seen earlier while declaring a variable example, we were storing a C character, only a letter C in a variable. So that is what about character, it only stores a single letter in it. The third data type is float. Float is actually a data type which stores numbers but in a decimal format. All the decimal numbers which we will be using, we only store it in a float variable. All the numbers which are 0.1, which are actually 1.1, 2.1, which are actually decimal, can be stored in a float data type. Okay. The next is, the fourth one is the double. Double is a data type which is an extension to the float because we get more precision, that is the values after the dot in this double data type. Now we will be seeing an example for all the data types that we have just now learned. Okay, so first is the integer data type. For creating an integer variable, first write int. Int indicates it is an integer, followed by the variable name. You can keep anything. For example, I am giving ABC. Then is equal to, this is actually the assignment operator which we will be learning later, equal to, then the value, for example 10 and the semicolon. Okay, so int ABC is equal to 10. Here int is the data type. While declaring any variable, the first rule is to write the data type for that variable. Okay, so the first, our data type is integer. So here we have written int. Int is integer, followed by the variable name which is ABC. Okay, first the data type, then the variable name, then assigning a value, that is assigning some data to that variable name. Okay, so our data, our value is 10. So the next is character. For character data type, we use char. These are all keywords, this int, char, then we will be learning float and double. These all are actually keywords. Okay, so for creating a character variable, we have to first write char, then followed by a character variable name. Okay, so for example car is equal to, we are assigning B. Remember, character only stores a single letter. You cannot store multiple letters in it. Okay, it only stores single letter. Then moving forward, we have float. In the float data type, we should assign a decimal value to our variable. For example, pi. Pi is actually 3.14, so it is a decimal value. Then 3.14, like this. The first data type, which is float, then pi, this is the variable name, and assigning 3.14, which is the value, to our pi variable. The next is double. Double is actually an extension of float, which I have said earlier. Okay, we are creating a variable b. Okay, then we will be storing a value uh, 2 point something, so it can store up to a certain precision. The precision value for a double is actually more than the float values. Okay, thank you for watching this video. I hope you are enjoying this C programming web series. We will meet in the next video. Till then, stay tuned.